Hi, I'm No, a disabled and queer person who is the founder of Revival Disability Community, a UN recognized community for and by disabled and queer folks in India. We work to unhide the disability and create an accessible revolution. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm also a disability justice author who plans on taking up space in the world one limp at a time. So I grew up in a very compulsory, heteronormative and able-bodied environment where being able-bodied was seen as an achievement. I was told my entire life that I need to transform myself from disabled to able-bodiedness. Like in weight loss commercials before and after, picture is shown where it's implied that you can only start living and enjoying your life and thriving once you're a particular body weight or a body type. That was the same thing that I struggled with my disability. It's taken me a lifetime to actually be proud of my disability, allowing myself to feel like I deserve to be proud of my disability and that I deserve queerness. And that I deserve to have sex, to be sexually intimate in whichever way I desire, in whichever way my body desires to take up space, right? So growing up in a heteronormative environment and being born assigned female at birth, I was always told it was automatic. It was very automatic that I'm going to grow up and date a cis man. That was the intention and the thought that I grew up with, and I never allowed myself to look at the other side, or the fact that I can be fluid with my gender, with my sexuality, and I can create my own sexuality, and that's why when I realized I was non-binary, it was a revolution, because I can be anyone I wanted, right? I can be masc or femme or neither, and that was really freeing for me, especially because my gender was something I had control over, right? Unlike my disability and unlike the medical stuff, the medical tests that happened to me, right? And I had no control over. I had no control over my chronic illness, but I did have control over my queerness and my non-binariness. I often call my non-binariness a new kind of non-binariness because we all create our own sexuality, our own ways of being intimate. So this was one of the things that changed how I viewed sex ed. So this month I've been meeting a lot of people that I had been working with online for the past 2 years, and it's been a very enriching experience that way because meeting in person and discussing new ideas, new collaborations, and dreaming of a feminist disabled world together. So in that way we had a few workshops in collaboration with Feminist Futures India and Nepal. And surprisingly, I didn't know this particular fact that I'm gonna stay for 24 years, right? But at the same time, that is okay because there's no age where to learn new things, right? And especially when it comes to sex ed, because we've been so misinformed our entire lives, growing up in a cis patriarchal society. So I got to know that you call the vulva is not called the vagina. This is because when you call it the vagina, again it's a separate whole, right? And you're ascribing a very reproductive, capitalistic, ableist role to the vulva. This is obviously born out of a heteronormative society which tells us that, which gives utmost importance to penetrative sex and just the sexual function of the vulva. So this fact definitely changed how I viewed sex ed. It also changed my life. It also made me more mindful of my sexual partners, whether they know my body enough before engaging in sexual intimacy with me. So I've been with cis, able-bodied, straight men my entire life, and I feel like most of these men viewed me as a novelty, as the only disabled woman in their lives that they've intimately known, whether that's in terms of a relationship or whether that's in sexual terms. And I feel like when they view me as a novelty, then they start fetishizing me in the way that they start wondering, how can I be disabled and a woman and sexually forthcoming at the same time? They've never seen a disabled woman being so badass or sexually forthcoming in their lives, right? So these men, when I'm intimate with them, they definitely sexually engage with me without knowing my body fully, without knowing my disabled body, without thinking of my disabled body in incorrect ableist terms. So this is definitely a red flag for me. Being with someone who doesn't bother finding out about my disability or about how to affirmatively treat your disabled partner, right? A relationship without care is definitely a red flag for me, and I know this is obvious, but it took me a lot of years to understand this. So I like to start by saying that there's a difference between genuine curiosity and intrusion in relationships. So for example, an example of genuine curiosity is when my partner asks me if they can help me, and supposing I say no. So they respect that. So respecting my consent that I'll ask for help whenever I need it. I'll ask for help myself whenever I need it. I'm an adult with a disabled body who knows their own body and who knows what their body is capable of. So I will definitely ask when I need help and when I don't need help. So respecting that is definitely a green flag for me. Being genuinely curious in a very caring way. If this is what you require, if this is what your accessibility needs are, right? And how I can fulfill them, how I can take care of you, how I can lessen your anxiety, right? So I feel that is a green flag for me. When I talk about intrusiveness, again an example of intrusiveness is when cis able-bodied men on dating apps, not only able-bodied men, not only one gender, but all genders, all able genders, when the way they view disabled women on dating apps, especially I'm physically disabled with a visible disability, so I'm viewed as an open book to an able-bodied world, in a very voyeuristic way. Like I owe them information about my diagnosis or about my disability, about what I can and cannot do, about like everyday situations about my disability. If I can go to the bathroom on my own, or if I can do basic tasks on my own, from that to information about my sexual life. If I can have sex while I'm physically disabled, how do I do it? The very intricacies of sexual intimacy when you're physically disabled. So obviously they feel like I owe them this information. People on dating apps will ask me all sorts of intrusive questions, non-consensual questions, they would view me as more vulnerable in a sense. Trigger warning, I'm going to talk about abuse. So disabled women, disabled folks, their bodies are viewed as, empty vessels of abuse, where to an able-bodied world, we are useless, lazy, a very ableist term. Our bodies are of no use in a capitalistic world. Productivity and a disabled body are incompatible, according to ableism. So, in this scenario, our bodies are seen as good for nothing but abuse, right? So that's how the world views disabled bodies existing in society. So I think the lit vibrator is what disabled pleasure and joy looks like for me. It's helped me take up space and agency within my disabled body, and experience pleasure in my own disabled way, disabled and queer way, and at my own pace. Something which I never experienced with partner intimacy. It's definitely helped me know my disabled body better, and create create a space for accessible intimacy for myself, again in my own way.